that was one of the huge reasons why we came here, because we knew tag team wrestling was going to be a focus on the show. And we wanted to go somewhere where we would grow as performers, where we would get better. And of course, what better place than to go to with stack card? Like you said, there wasn't even as many tag teams when we first signed up.
Hi guys, Louis Dangle here from WrestleTalk.com, and I got two special guests with me here today. We've got AEW stars Santana and Ortiz of Proud and Powerful. We'll start with you, Ortiz. How you doing? How you been holding up?
I'm doing great, feeling great, doing great. Can't complain.
And we've got Santana as well. You can't actually see him at the moment. We had a bit of Wi-Fi issues, so you're just going to hear his voice, but we still get to see Ortiz. That's the main thing. So Santana, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, and screw me. I guess my video doesn't matter. But all good, man. Just, having my morning coffee and getting ready to start the day.
Yeah, well, it's early for you guys, so thank you very much for doing this. But we're coming out of Dynamite last night and All Out on Saturday, which two great shows. I think All Out obviously had the Matt Hardy incident and people taken out of it, but Dynamite last night was fantastic, I thought. How was, for you, Santana, how was the feeling at Dynamite yesterday of what was a great show with obviously Miro debuting, new feud starting, sort of seeing the direction that we'll be heading into, coming into full gear?
I think it was a great introduction into the next stage of AEW and the direction that we're gonna go. And I think it was the perfect aftermath show, should I say, of All Out. Like you said, lots of things happen at All Out, and especially the whole incident with Matt Hardy occurring kind of took people a little bit out of it and distracted people. But I'm glad that everyone was able to come back and realize that, hey, we're putting on something great. And I think it was a great show, and the surprises and the new directions and everything is on the right path.
How about you, Ortiz? How was it being, obviously, a Dynamite yesterday, heading into full gear? Are you quite excited for what the next couple of months holds as we head into that next pay-per-view?
For sure, definitely. I mean, there were some surprises on the show. I think the matches flowed really well. It just I don't really know how to explain it. It just off of feel. It just felt right. Felt good. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm always excited when I come into work, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe someone else debuts, or two people go out there and have a killer match, and it's awesome. AEW always keeps us on our toes, which is awesome.
I mean, talking about debuts, All Out was sort of wrapped up a big year for you guys, where you debuted All Out in 2019, and then All Out 2020, you guys were on the card in the Casino Battle Royale. So for you, Ortiz, how was that debut? How has the first year been for you, moving from the debut, obviously, to where you are now?
I mean, it's been a huge learning experience. I will say this, coming off of working in Impact and having someone like Conan with us to kind of guide us, and now in this endeavor, we're kind of on our own, and we've learned a lot throughout the years, and now we're in the inner circle. We have Jericho and stuff like that, but now we have more of a situation where we kind of have to do things more on our own, and we're kind of out of the training wheels are off, so it's like, all right, here we go. And it's been fun because we've been learning new things. We've been learning new things as performers, learning new things as businessmen, and it's been interesting, and I love it. The locker room is great, so that helps with coming into work and being excited about coming into work. And I've enjoyed every minute of the new year, of this year at AEW, and I can't wait to see what else it brings.
How about you, Santana? I know Ortiz alluded to earlier being on your own, but obviously you're working with Chris Jericho now. So how's that been for you, working with him in your first year, sort of coming in with the first episode of Dynamite, getting to work with a real legend of the business?
Well, going back off of what Ortiz said, with our first year, I think has been a great learning experience. It's been, for me personally, has been one of lots of ups and downs. After especially with losing my dad in January, I felt like it just threw my whole mind and life out of whack a bit, and I'm still trying to figure that guy out. But for the most part, it's been a very interesting experience, and having someone like Jericho there that we could always confide in and ask for advice and know that he's always going to be a straight shooter with us, and it's we're very fortunate to have something like that. And as far as the first year, we've been blessed to be in a position where we're constantly on the show, we're constantly doing things, we're constantly building ourselves. And of course, as performers, as guys that have come from where we're come from, we're always hungry, we're always wanting more, we're always looking for that next step, we're always wanting to give more. And those are the times where we have to take a step back and almost try our best to look at the overall bigger picture of things, you know what I mean, and not allow our egos or our want to give more and do more get in the way of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more of understanding and but overall, we've had a blessed experience, and we're just hoping for the best for the future and to continue building ourselves. And we could go on and on about the first year, but overall, just my experience of the first year is going to be different from Ortiz. It's only because I've dealt with something traumatic in my life, so it pretty much threw my my world for a whack, and
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with it. So it is what it is, but we're blessed and thankful to still be working and to still be here, and yeah.
I mean, for you guys being tag teams, there's no better place to be, in my opinion, than All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have got tag teams coming out of everywhere. You've got, when you think about it, dream matches for you guys. It's Young Bucks and FTR and Omega and Page, who the last two weren't even, I guess, in the picture when you guys joined AEW. So for being lovers of tag team wrestling as a tag team yourself, how much does it mean for you guys to see so much tag wrestling on AEW Dynamite and so much of a importance put on it? We'll start with you for that one, Ortiz.
I mean, that was one of the huge reasons why we came here, because we knew tag team wrestling was going to be a focus on the show. And we wanted to go somewhere where we would grow as performers, where we would get better. And of course, what better place to go to with the stack card? Like you said, there wasn't even as many tag teams when we first signed up, Kenny and Paige included. But yeah, it definitely was a huge one of the huge selling points for us to come to AEW. And I love it. I love the competition. At every point in our career, we've always progressed, and we've always gotten better by wrestling people better than us. It's the only way you would ever get better in life. You need to be constantly challenged, need to fail at times. And we've done all that. We've gone out there and we beat ourselves up about the littlest things that really don't matter, but to us, they matter a lot because we take so much pride into our work. And luckily, we have minds here to kind of steer us in the right direction. We have Dean Malenko, Chris Daniels, we have Jerry Lynn, people that can really help us break down things and look at them in a different way. And there's so much knowledge back there, like so many years of knowledge. It's insane to be able to go up to some of these people and be like, hey, can you watch my match? And, how can we do this, or what can we do this to make it better? And just to have that available to us, that was a huge reason why I came here. So yeah.
And Santana, for you, obviously being part of a tag team, what does it mean for you? And I guess going off what Ortiz said, has anyone given you sort of a key bit of advice watching one of your matches or listening sort of one of your promos or backstage segments where they've gone, maybe do that better, and then you haven't realized it and taken it forward, and it's now just become sort of second nature, I guess?
So for the first part, I think it's great that tag team wrestling is a main focal point here in AEW. I think there's just so much talent, and like you were saying, the possibilities are endless with the mix and matches of guys and working together. And like Ortiz was saying, it was a big decision maker for us in coming here and wanting to continue our building our tag legacy and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as advice goes, I mean, God, there's just so many guys, and what I love the most is that like Ortiz was saying, that sometimes we'll go to guys and ask them to watch matches and give advice and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, there's guys that take it upon themselves and just watch and critique and offer the advice, and that means even more, the fact that they took their own time without us even having to ask or anything, and just the fact that there's so many people wanting all of us to succeed and to do better and be better. You can't ask for anything better than that. You know what I mean? I think the team that AEW has today is, I mean, I say it over and over. We're a lot of us are blessed, especially the younger guys on the roster are blessed, because man, like, they have some of the greatest minds in wrestling there to help guide them and to help get them better. And us coming up, we didn't really have a lot of that. We had our crew, the New York crew and stuff like that helped mentor us and show us the ropes and stuff like that. But the team at AEW is just is stacked, and everyone has the same mindset, and everyone cares, and everyone wants everyone to do better. And like Ortiz was saying, he named off a few guys. All of them, they man, like, they make you see the smallest thing as the biggest thing. And again, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate, and it's been a wild ride.
And I mean, coming from Impact, well, I think it's safe to say you guys were sort of by far the biggest tag team there, sort of featured very prominently. Have you had to adapt your game to stand out more, knowing just how stacked the tag division is in AEW, where perhaps your spot on the card isn't guaranteed every week? Because if, for example, there isn't you, there's a Young Bucks that can sort of go in that spot, or a Lucha Bros. Have you guys had to really sort of adapt your game and up your game as a result? We'll start with you for that one, Santana.
Oh, of course. I mean, us naturally, we're very competitive men, and we love that competitive nature, and we love being challenged, like Ortiz said earlier. I think it's great. It keeps everyone on their toes. It keeps everyone working hard, and I think it's a good spirit to have, And I mean, us changing our game and trying to stand out. I feel like we've done our best to do exactly that. You know what I mean? We've cleaned up our in-ring. We've gotten more aggressive. We've taken a lot of the advice that a lot of other people have given us, and we put it to use. You know what I mean? But again, people need to realize that, one, is it's stacked, and two, it's only year one. You know what I mean? It's only year one. There's still so much growing left to do. There's still so much storytelling left to do, and I think that's the beauty of it. The fact that we're still in the beginning stages, and there's just still so much left to be done. And we always come to work with our boots on. You know what I mean? We come to work. That's always been our spirit. That's always been our mentality, and we take our job very serious. You know, there's times too serious, at least in my side. You know, for me, wrestling. You know, I know it's cliche, and you hear it a lot from a lot of people, but you know, wrestling, and my partner is there as a testament. Wrestling saved my life. You know, wrestling was something that took me out of a very shitty situation and allowed me to dream. It allowed me to escape. It allowed me to get away from the excuse my language, the shitty reality that was my life. You know, so this is something that I take very serious. So we're always striving to be better and get better, and yeah, like you know, we I think our catalog has proven that we're right up there with the greats, you know what I mean? And we're still, and the best thing is that we're still growing and we're still putting in the work, you know.
How about you, Ortiz? Anything to add to what Santana had to say?
I mean, just to go based on what he's saying, 100% agreement with him. But yeah, I mean, we've specifically we've tried to change up our style a bit because definitely an impact. And coming off of the Lucha Bros feud, we showed that we can do go, and go balls to the wall, for lack of a better term, and just go. And here we're trying to slow things down, but in a more exciting way. We've had those type of matches in AEW, but now what we've been trying, especially in Dark, I think it's been more highlighted than it has in Dynamite, where we're really trying to up the aggression, slow down the matches, isolate opponents, and just work a different style. And it's been a huge learning curve. I wouldn't say huge learning curve, but it's just something that we've learned very early on in our career. But kind of what, as a performer, you get in your niche, and you kind of go that way. And then our niche was just, as you can see with our Lucha Bros feud, was that me and Santana work very well with each other and have our timing down, so we can do all these spectacular sequences and do really cool stuff. But I think lately we've been challenging ourselves and just trying to change it up a bit and just showing that we can be versatile performers. And yeah, and to go to answer your other question, definitely, there's definitely a huge challenge and there's a lot of competition. Like he said, it's why we came here. We are going to be challenged. We want to have to fight to get a spot on Dynamite every week, if that makes sense. Because I think without that, we're going to get complacent and we're just going to be like, all right, you know what I mean? It's just another show. I feel like we have a little chip on our shoulder, but in a good way, in a healthy way. And we're like, yeah, let's get this. You know what I mean? Let's build the show. Let's be the best match on the show. And us going in with that mentality definitely helps in our performance. Sometimes could backfire a little bit, but I think overall it's a good motivating tool that we use.
And
also also to go off Ortiz, you know, we've always, our entire careers, we always prided ourselves over being hybrid wrestlers, and we've traveled the world and have learned so many different styles and have worked so many different styles. And I feel like, you know, we're putting that to use here, and we're changing up our style, and we, you know, a lot of people get tired of seeing the same thing all the time. And I feel like with us, you know, a lot of fans, at least I've noticed that a lot of fans are wanting that old, you know, quote unquote LAX style back and all that stuff. But understand that people need to grow and people need to show different, like what you said, show versatility. And we've always prided ourselves on that. And you know, but trust me that when the time comes and when the occasion calls for it, know that we pull out, you know, that nastiness. But you know, it's more of growing. We you know, we're constantly growing.
And I mean, you guys are, and I definitely think over the last couple of weeks in your feud with Best Friends, we've seen a more vicious side. You guys sort of a more, I guess, sort of what Santana was doing, a more sort of LAX side, like we perhaps would have seen in Impact, that more sort of vicious side, which I think we're all looking forward to seeing. And your parking lot brawl, is that what it is next week, which should be very good.
Yeah.
So, but before I let you guys go, because you've been so generous, can we do some quick fire questions?
Sure.
Perfect. And this one I like to do with tag teams because it's quite interesting, and I feel a bit like a couples therapist when I do this. But we'll start with you, Ortiz.
You don't want to open this can of worms, man.
It's a nice one. So, Ortiz.
Oh God.
Could you describe Santana as a wrestler and sort of as someone to be around and work with in a sentence?
In a sentence?
Bury, get the shovel.
Ooh, that's a good one. In a sentence.
It's taken long because it's been 10 years. Jesus.
Yeah. Headstrong, passionate, and headstrong, passionate, and I would just say headstrong and passionate. I'll stay with that one. I was trying to think of a third word, but no, yeah, headstrong and passionate.
Santana, how about Ortiz? Describe him in a sentence.
True to himself.
Nice. I wish you guys were together so you could give each other a big hug right now, but fortunately not.
No, it's too early for that. I'm not in that mood yet.
And for you guys, sort of favorite wrestlers of all time, when we think of them, some people have had them say Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, whole host of people. For you, Ortiz, when you think favorite wrestler, who comes to mind?
I mean, Christopher Daniels. I get to work with my favorite wrestler all the time, and it's awesome. But I mean, the list, I can easily name off 10. Definitely Dick Togo, Eddie Guerrero. I love a lot of early 90s Michinoku Pro, like Grand Naniwa, Marufuji, Misawa, Kobashi, of course. I've been watching a lot of Kings Road with Eddie Kingston lately. So, yeah, Kurt Angle, definitely one of them. I'm trying to think. Canyon, Alex Shelley, and of course, Loki, Homicide. Can't forget those guys, the Hit Squad, and the Briscoes, my favorite tag team of all time.
You had a real opportunity there to say Santana and just leave it at that.
I should have, right?
How about you, Santana?
So
if we think in
favorite for therapy, can we hire you for therapy? That was great.
I charge a lot. I'm just warning you. I charge a lot. So. How about you, Santana? Favorite wrestler? Who comes to mind?
Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero.
Fair enough. Short and sweet. I like it.
Yeah.
Favorite matches? Obviously, this one's a bit of a two-parter. One that you guys have been part of, either a singles or a tag, and then one that if you're sort of feeling, I guess, like lacking inspiration or needing sort of a pick-me-up, you can always go to and watch and be like, yeah, this is why I love wrestling. So we'll start with you for that one, Santana.
Personally, our personal favorites, man, we've worked so many great guys, and leaving a lot of these guys out it sucks. But two, if you don't mind, two that come to mind are CCK. When we worked CCK in New York, we worked them maybe 3 or 4 times, both in the States and in England. But that first initial one that we had in New York was my absolute favorite. And then getting to work with Lucha Brothers at Madison Square Garden and having our entire families there, and that'll be with me forever. You know, that just being able to do that in our hometown and having our families there, and just the feud that we had, that was pretty much our last match with them before coming here. And just, we wrestled each other 23 times in a year, all over the world.
Wow.
And what a ride that was. And but yeah, those are the two matches that come to mind as personal favorites that we've had. And matches that pick me up, tag matches that pick me up, I think I would have to go back to the ones that I saw as a kid that always brought me excitement.
Yeah.
I was watching this the other day. One of them was the Steiners versus the Head Shrinkers at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah. One
of my absolute favorite tag matches, because that was one of the first times I've seen the Steiner brothers get their asses whooped. But that and there's definitely another one in there. But yeah, for right now, that's the one that comes to mind. Yeah, only because that was I still have WrestleMania 9 on VHS, and that cassette tape, man, is probably cursing me out because I've played it. Jesus Christ, I'm surprised it hasn't popped. But yeah.
How about you, Ortiz? Anything that comes to mind?
Matches to watch, definitely fresh in my mind. I'm gonna have to say Kobashi and Kikuchi versus K-Man Connection, that the greatest tag match of all time. I've watched it like 5 times this week, and it's just the flow of that match. I've also been I don't know what year it was, but there's this Heavenly Bodies and Rock and Roll Express match. I forget what year it was. I was just watching it the other day. Definitely just watching those two teams go at it. How can you not get inspiration? The energy that they brought in the ring when they were in the ring, and every time, it's awesome. But just watching the sequences and how they structure the match and how they put everything together, I'll always just be like, ooh, all right, how do we make this ours? And I'll look at stuff like that for inspiration, motivation. Oh man, I watch a lot of wrestling, especially in the last week. So there's a lot. And I always throw, like I said earlier, some early 90s Michinoku Pro. You can't go wrong with that. Yeah. Especially if we're doing multi-man matches or anything crazy. That's my go-to right there. You can definitely find some goodness in there. And I also like to watch a lot of Tori Amon, Noah, and stuff like that. But I'm just going off. But those two matches come to mind because they're fresh in my mind. But if you ask me this question a week from now, it might be something else. But, yeah.
How about one you've been a part of, sort of one that you feel particularly proud of when you look back on or think coming out of the match, you're like, damn, that was one of our best, or one of your best personally?
I definitely, what comes to mind, we wrestled Lucha Bros in, I believe it was Manchester. And we had just came off of our Impact feud with them, or we were still feuding with them at the time. Excuse my memory. But we were in Fight Club Pro. We were doing a big tag tournament, their tag tournament that they do, and we weren't even supposed to wrestle Lucha Bros in it. But something happened, so they literally, before doors open, they changed us versus Lucha Bros to open the show. So I forgot who we were gonna wrestle. I think we were gonna wrestle Fitch and Davey Vega, I believe, in the tournament, and it got switched to Lucha Bros. So the magical proceeds, and before we even locked up, we got a Hogan and Rock. It's kind of ovation, and it was insane to us, especially because this is the first time we brought the feud across international waters, maybe with the exception of going to Mexico. But to get that standing ovation when we haven't even locked up, there was nothing done yet. Us and Lucha Bros looked at each other and were like, oh, we're done? We could just go to the back right now. And we kind of just had that moment in the ring. And I remember when we came to the middle point of the match, big double down sequence. We're all on the floor, and man, the ovation that we got, I just like no other drug in the world. It was insane. And anytime someone asks me that question, I think of that match because I can close my eyes and think of that moment, and I kind of get those goosebumps again, and it was awesome.
Awesome. And final question, because you guys have been so generous with your time, so I don't want to keep you.
Real quick.
Go.
Sorry to interrupt. Real quick.
That's
Just
all right.
want to give a big shout out to the Rascals. Dez and Zach, man, we worked those guys so many times too on the independents, and they're amazing tag team, amazing talent. And yeah, I was thinking about that while you guys were chatting. Those dudes, you know, we go all the way back to what, like 2016 together, you know, and they, you know, yeah, they're great guys and great performers, man. So shout out to them.
Yeah, you're trying to get a seat. You're trying to get a seat, Lewis. We don't say the Rascals. We're gonna get a text message and be like, "Oh yeah, so you know you didn't like our chemistry? Like, what's going on, guys?"
I mean, everyone listens to my interview. Every wrestler on the planet. So you got to say everyone. But
exactly.
We obviously saw Miro debut last night. Former Rusev. We've seen Eddie Kingston, who you guys know quite well. Ricky Starks. Seen a lot of debuts recently. So for you guys. I'm going to start with you, Ortiz. Is there one or two guys, either a singles guy or a tag, that you think AEW, if possible, should try and get in because they'd be a real great addition to what you guys are doing?
I mean, definitely the Rascals. I think even though the tag division is already insanely stacked, but just sprinkle them in anywhere, and they would do amazing, especially with all the different type of styles. And of course, I'm a little bit biased, but you know, Chris Dickinson would be amazing. Just the intensity he brings, and he also happens to also be one of our best friends in wrestling, or just in general. But yeah, I think he would be awesome. They need people with that intensity. You know what I mean? In the company to bring fight out of people, and I think he could legitimize. It's stuck on my tongue. Legitimize. There it is. Legitimize. I kind of said it right. Certain people, you know what I mean? Just because of that intensity and that fight that he brings in the ring. And if, you know, you can match that with him, people are going to be like, oh, wow, I didn't know this person had this type of fight in him. And he's that type of performer that can bring that out of people.
How about you, Santana?
That's rough, man, because I feel like there's a lot of, you know, guys and women out there that that are working hard, that are busting their ass, that are really putting out their best stuff, especially during this whole pandemic thing going on. And you know, it's good to see that not a lot of people have lost their focus and their now there's a huge helicopter flying out of my window, but no, but and it's also landing in front of my hotel. Anyways, so yeah, there's just so many guys and girls out there that are busting their ass and they're you know, but man, I
you're gonna get a seat.
I didn't even think of.
Yeah, you're gonna get a seat.
Yeah, it is a hard question because you know, like I said, there's, you know, of course we got a lot of friends in the business that we would love to see get an opportunity and stuff like that. But again, you know, there's so many people out there really busting their ass and really you know, yeah, and also I don't want to be biased. I don't want to, you know, I like it's yeah, it's a lot. I think
be biased.
Anyone,
okay.
I think anyone that's brought into AEW is brought in with a purpose.
Yeah.
And they're gonna bring something special to help the company continue growing. And there's so many people out there that have those qualities, you know, and it's you know, and the saying in wrestling, there's only but so many spots, you know what I mean? But But of course, we have. I'll give one. Of course, we have amazing agents and guys there with so much knowledge and that offer so much help. But to see Homicide, get an opportunity to come here and for guys to be able to learn from him and be guided by him, I think it's something special. It's a huge testament to our careers and why we're in the positions we're in because of having mentors like that. But to see him get that opportunity and to he's a guy that has a lot of respect from a lot of people, and the respect is from his work rate and the fact that he puts his everything into whatever he does. And another person that just has so much knowledge and he gets it. He gets that also wrestling has evolved, and he's not one of those guys to try to keep the anchor down on guys because he believes in a certain style or certain way of doing things. Man, like he's a wealth of knowledge, and I think a lot of guys in AEW and women would benefit from that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have got a lot there, and as you said, that's not to take anything away from anyone within AEW, because you guys made some great signings and put on a great product. So that is Fight TV for markets, obviously outside of the US, every Wednesday, or obviously I know it's been a bit chaotic recently with sports coming back in the US. Always hard to keep up with people like there might be a show on Wednesday. It might be on Thursday. Explain to me how this American sports works. I'm confused. But we fight over there.
The NBA owns TNT. So, and it's playoff season. So, yeah.
And obviously TNT in the States, check that out every Wednesday, or stay tuned to AEW's Twitter for updates on when shows might be taking place over the next couple of weeks. But I'll hand over to you now, Santana. Where can people check you out on Twitter, Instagram, and things like that?
You could go and follow and check me out on Instagram and on Twitter under @SantanaProud _proud. That's my handle on both outlets, and those are the main social media that I use.
Ortiz?
I'm Ortiz _powerful. So you see what we did there, proud and powerful. Yeah, it makes it easy.
What a lame! If you gotta point that out and people don't just get it, then we're doing something wrong.
Hey man, I like to be Mr. Obvious.
But guys, thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you. We'll hopefully be best friends next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, I don't like the lack of confidence.
I don't want to give away any spoilers. You're
going to have to pick a side, man, before you get off this call.
You guys.
That's messed up.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.